I've been chasing my career since I was 6 years old. I was a wee baby sitting in front of the telly, watching those classical shows like SpongeBob, Avatar, Naruto, to name a few. It was in those moments that I found comfort. I found solace and joy in those moving pictures, and from then on, I knew what I wanted to be. I wanted to be an animator. As I got older, my motivation generally grew smaller and smaller. I began to ponder my career choices. Will it pay well? Will I enjoy it? Will I be any good at it? Will my fragile mind crumble under the inevitable stress of the job? Even in the face of all these questions, my intrigue marched forward in the direction of multimedia art. And now, I want to examine my career in depth and see how my personality matches up with my choice. To begin, as a general term, I'm looking to become a multimedia artist. A multimedia artist is someone who uses their ability in art to create works in varying fields like cartoons, commercials, billboards, video games, and more. For me personally, I want to be either an animator or concept artist, and work on video games and cartoons specifically. I mainly want to bring stories to life. Animators and concept artists are still relatively broad in terms of job title. This is because there are several positions that can occupy each title with a word in front of it, like lead animator and such. This just means as an animator I could be doing different things each job. In any case, one of my central worries about this position as my set career path was its success and my ability to secure a job. The position itself is doing pretty well. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says that the position will grow by at least 4% between now and 2028. Thousands of positions should, in theory, be opening in the coming years. This info doesn't mean that I can completely rest easy, but it does mean that I have a positive outlook on the job market at least. And the average pay doesn't sound too bad either. Payscale.com says that the average pay is close to $52,000 a year. This number inflates and deflates with each site, but the general scale is somewhere between $30,000 all the way up to $100,000, so I'd say that's a good range to be in. Now, the base statistics of this job sound ideal, but a lot of these statistics are based off of an ideal position. You know, like a job within a company that's doing well or working on something. This is where the cons, or at least the cons that I can see, come in for this position. Through intense investigation, I've surmised that generally animators and their counterparts work in offices or cubicles, working on their teams or the company's project as a whole. Stress can be quite high in this environment because of deadlines and work toll. Animators can often have very long and difficult work hours, sitting in one spot, working on one thing or something of that sort. There is a lot of teamwork that needs to be had. Communication is key in animation settings so that the product comes out as intended. So, there's an interesting combination of long, isolated hours of work and communicating. This can be difficult for those with personalities that are not easily adaptable. This is also assuming that you can secure a job at all. Jobs need to be filled, and they usually fill pretty quickly, and it's not like they can hire extra and stuff, like extra staff. In the event an artist cannot get a job, there are two options. Give up and cry or something to that effect, or take to social media and build a portfolio with commissions and the sort. A grand number of artists and animators are freelance, meaning they employ themselves by doing projects themselves for companies or individuals looking to pay for their ability. Right now, I'm starting my commission game. I'm starting to put my art online like a desperate fisherman with bait on his hook waiting for the big ol' whopper to bite. In jobs like this, a lot of it is alone/solo work, with the only communication you need being between you and the buyer. Also, the pay is completely up to you and how you set your prices, but of course, you want to be reasonable. The cons I've laid out here may seem like pretty bad cons, but these cons are only really difficult depending on your personality. This is another question that I wanted to answer for myself. Not only did I naturally want to find out the kind of personality I possessed, but I needed to see how well my personality matches with my job of choice. There are a couple of tests that I can do to determine my personality. One of the best and well-known personality tests is the Myers-Briggs test. Essentially, this test has you take a quiz and then determines your personality based on their 16 personality list types comprised of code words to stand in place of certain traits and ways you live. At the end of the test, I received the personality INTP. This stands for introverted, intuitive, thinking, and perceiving. I should also mention that the personality types also come with their opposites. introversion and extroversion, intuitive and sensing, thinking and feeling, and judging and perceiving. These categories work somewhat opposite of their counterpart, but can be mixed and matched to form interesting combos like different courses that make up a meal. As such, the test also comes with a percentage of affinity you have for one trait over the other. For example, I have a 16% preference for introversion over extroversion. I'll get into all the nitpicky details of those in a moment, but in essence, a person with this personality type, i.e. me, is analytical and enveloped in thought. Now, I know what you're thinking. Boy, how in the name of holy halibut does this play into animation and whatnot? Well, stranger in my home, I'll tell you. I'll break it down piece by piece. To begin, let's look at the I in INTP. Introverted or introverted thinking. Introversion or introverted thinking, in this case, means that I seek the essence of ideas and things. I ponder deeply about things around me to the point of appearing detached, especially at times of low energy. Basically, I get lost in thought, thinking about the meaning of things way more than I should. This trait is excellent for realms like animation and storytelling. This is because the ability to pick things clean of their essence allows for deeper understanding. It allows me to stay focused on the task at hand and do my work with precision. The next is intuition or extroverted intuition. In essence, intuition grounds me and acts as a perfect productive counter to thinking. As I said, thinking means that I will subconsciously pick apart every element of what I'm focusing on until I'm at its base. Intuition allows me to bring my findings back to reality and draw the patterns between it and other things in the world. Not only this, but intuition affords me the joy of experimenting with the world and wanting to draw patterns, theories, and prediction. In short, intuition is the